So you might be thinking after watching several of my last shows, my God, this Linux stuff is so complicated. It's so hard. How do I know I'm going to get the right thing? I need a new system. Well, stick around. I may have a solution. Two, three, four, several. Welcome to the Drunk Linux User. I'm Len. I am the Drunk Linux User. And I know that I've been complaining about adding graphics cards and trying to find the right distribution and everything. And it may sound like, oh my God, this is just too much hassle, too much work. Why don't I just stick with Windows? Watch some of my previous videos and you'll understand why a lot of people go to Linux. But primarily, we're going to be looking today at options that you have, especially if you're in the market for a new computer and you've been trying Linux and you want to have something that is really, really geared for Linux. You might be surprised at what you're going to find out here. So let me get over to the other page. Voila. All right. We're going to start with System 76. They are the distributors of not only hardware but the Pop! OS Linux distribution. My goodness. Cat's gone wild. And they have not only laptops, but they have desktops as well. Pretty nice looking unit. And if you think, well, hey, looks aren't everything, that's true. But take a look at some of the gamers that are out there, and they've got transparent panels, they've got multiple LED displays going off. It looks like a freaking light show at the planetariums we used to see in the mid to late 1970s. Weren't born there? Google it. All right. But Pop! OS has different different lines of desktops and laptops. Take a look at some of the laptops here. And they're fine looking units. Fine looking units. And they have a lot of beef to them. And a lot of people really like them a lot. I have never used any of these. Okay, the only thing I've got is this Dell over here. And it's finally working exactly the way I want it to. So System 76. If you're looking for laptops, they've got a number of them as well. As you can see, the prices are not outrageous. And they come with Pop! OS. You can get them right out of the box and start working. Now they do move up in price. And again, you start moving up into like the i7 with NVIDIA, whatever. You're going to be paying a little bit more. But take a look at the freedom you have by using a Linux distribution as opposed to, say, something proprietary like Windows or Mac OS. So, System 76. The next one is Purism. Purism makes a lot of different types of products, and one of them that they're very, very proud of is the Librium 5 phone. It's very privacy oriented. They also make laptops and desktops as well. The Librium 5 phone is really cool in that this is not an iOS and it is not an Android phone. This is a Linux phone. And we'll get to that in just a second. But you can see they've laptops, they've got the minis, they've got servers, they've got the portability key, the Librium key, security token. They have power banks. Take a look at them. They're also very, very well known. The phone, though, is kind of cool. And I know this isn't a computer system. This is a phone. But what is really cool about this particular phone is not only does it have a lot of functionality behind it, but if you don't want your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, microphone, or camera running at all, there are actual physical switches to turn those things off. So if you're concerned about those particular problems, well, then with this particular phone, if you're looking for a new phone as well, you might want to look into this as well. Oh, also, it has a user replaceable battery. That's kind of hard to find these days. Um, since I'm using LibreWolf and it's pretty well locked down, there are certain things that won't play on here. My apologies. That's my fault. I'll put all the links up in the page, the show notes for you so you can take a look. Another one, Pine. They have phones. They have the notepad. They have phones. They have laptops. They have watches. They have tablets. They have cluster boards. And they also have a soldering pen. Cool. And the cubes. So take a look at Pine. They have a lot of different things on here as well. If you go to devices and you want to go to laptops, you can take a look at the Pinebook or the Pinebook Pro. Excuse me. Take a look at the specs. See if this is something that you might enjoy as well. It is Linux ready. Another company, Tuxedo Computers. And this is another one that seems to get a lot of attention as well. Take a look at what they have. Again, 100% Linux compatible. Manjaro, not only known for their operating systems, but they've connected with Pine 64, and now they have Pine phones and they have laptops. So this is kind of an interesting combination of the two. They also have the little minis. So you can see they actually have a lot of products. I am very interested in this design, and I'll show you here in just a minute why. Okay, now when I first looked at this, I took a look right here, right around the center part of it, and I saw these two things right here. Do they not look like beer taps to you? And before you judge, please remember, this is the Drunk Linux User channel. But actually they're handles so that you're able to open up the chassis and be able to service the parts inside. Good wood. All right, next one. I had never heard of these people before, but doing a search, I ran across them. It's called Think Penguin, and they have reasonably priced equipment, and yes, they apparently are still in business. They're going all the way through Ubuntu 22.04, so it's something that's been around for a while. Apparently, they've gone back to 18.04, and they also deal with Fedora, Linux Mint, Kubuntu, Lubuntu, Red Hat, CentOS, or is it CentOS? You know, I never did figure that one out. They have Arch and Manjaro as well. Pretty interesting. They also have a blog that I think is maybe something I'm going to dig into just a little bit more, but it looks pretty interesting to me. Now, if you think it's just these, weird offshoot kind of like, I'm used to the big boys in the market. I've never heard of, Ubuntu on Dell, for example. But yes, you can buy an XPS 13 Developer Edition, and it will have Ubuntu on it. This particular unit comes with 22.04, and the Optiplex 3000 thin client they're showing as having Ubuntu 20.04. Now, they don't really show much in the way of other items in here, but I can tell you from just trying to find the best of what I could find for the money I had, the XPS 8940 definitely runs Linux, and it runs all different kinds of Linux. So don't just let this individual search right here. You can see that I did Ubuntu, because when I did Linux, I got even less. So let's take a look at that. Oh, look at that. I am wrong. Okay, so they have desktops, they have laptops, and apparently, I don't know, Cosmic Rays. It just didn't come up with all of this the first time. Not only is there Dell, but there is HP. And HP has desktops, they have blades, they have all kinds of things to go along with that. They have laptops. So if you're an HP fan, you can run Linux in these as well. HP and Linux. This page right here talks about running Linux and all the different kinds of distributions that they wanted to show on here. Boy, she's charged up today. So again, the links are going to be in the show notes. Lenovo also has Linux machines. So take a look at what they have to offer here. It doesn't look like an awful lot right here, but again, the prices are not outrageous. You're looking at good equipment, good brand name. So what about the big boy, huh? What about Ubuntu? Does Ubuntu make desktops? No, they don't. They are an operating system and server system company. However, they do have the ability to set up certified workstations using HP, Lenovo, and Dell, and utilizing Intel, NVIDIA, and AMD. So that's what we're seeing right here. But if you click on certified workstations, they're going to bring you over here to this guy right here, the Dell XPS 13 Developer Edition, which I just showed you, by the way. And so even though they don't create their own desktops, they are letting you know that there are certified companies out there to put Ubuntu on commercial hardware. So if you thought that you were lost in the woods and there was no place to go, here you go. Here are the different companies. There probably are going to be many more that I have missed, but these are the ones I wanted to highlight in this show. Again, do a search. Find Linux laptop or Linux desktop manufacturers or whatever. PC, computers, laptops, phones, for example. And I think you'll find that this is going to be able to help you out in a great deal. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't go and buy something from Walmart, for example. And I'm not knocking Walmart because I have bought an Acer laptop from Walmart, and it served me well for about 8 years or so. That's pretty darn good. And it ran Linux very well until, well, the operating systems, the kernels, and everything demanded more and more than what that little, I think it was an i5 processor way back in the day, could actually handle. But it could handle it. I could put a lighter distribution on top of it too, and it would run just fine. In fact, even Linux Cinnamon works like a champ on that thing. So we have options. That's the nice thing about Linux that you're not going to find with a lot. You can't just go out and buy parts or even a pre-built PC and put Mac OS on it. And one of the other options that you're going to see, or one of the features that you're going to see with buying a Linux desktop, is that you're not paying for that Microsoft Windows license, which can run about $100 a pop. So save yourself $100, get Linux, buy something. If you're not willing to go through maybe some of the steps that are necessary to be able to bring Linux in, make it work, and do things the way you want. If you're looking for something new, take a look at these. And I have no dog in this fight. I don't get paid by anybody. That almost sounded sad. So let's leave this particular episode on our words of wisdom. Don't drive drunk. Don't drink and drive. Don't go to eBay, Amazon, or use MS Ed Shopping all buzzed up thinking that you're going to buy the latest and greatest, coolest stuff, because you're probably not. In the meantime, bottoms up, and later, dudes.